This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, Dunedin Eyesight staff are getting ready for an extra busy cruise ship day tomorrow. The Dunedin couple taking part in a reality TV show are eagerly awaiting to hear their fate. And a rubber duck from a charity duck race in October is found safe and well at the Roxburgh Dam. Good evening, I'm Daryl Baser. Dunedin Eyesight staff are getting ready for an extra busy cruise ship day tomorrow. The harbour will be filled with 3 cruise ships arriving at more or less the same time, bringing nearly 8,000 tourists to the city.
Getting the logistics ready for tomorrow's triple cruise ship visit to Dunedin. 2 huge vessels laden with tourists and moored up at the same time will be a regular sight at Port Chalmers over the summer. Tomorrow will be extra stretched with a 3rd smaller ship tying up in the Inner Harbour's steamer basin. Eyesight manager Louise van der Vleert says they're confident they won't be overwhelmed.
So it's not an unknown. We know they're coming. We know basically the number of people to be coping for. So it's fantastic really that we can plan for that number. And so extra buses can be brought in by the companies and we're ready for them.
Some of the city's tourist ventures, such as the Taieri Gorge rail journey, are already sold out, and those passengers who are late in trying to book the train will have to miss out.
Really, they should have booked it early on board. It's sad, but if you really want to do something, you do need to book it up and get that ticked off your list pretty quickly. There's always going to be something that runs out, but we've always had something still available for everybody, but it won't always be your first choice.
She says the city will stay busy with tourism over the summer, with many days seeing at least 2 large ships bringing several thousand visitors at a time.
We've got those 2 big ships in again on Boxing Day. Like there's 26 double days this year, so that's a few, and it will carry on increasing. The
Golden Princess, Ovation of the Seas and Caledonian Sky are all set to arrive between 7:30 and 8 tomorrow morning. In Dunedin for The South Today.
Dunedin firefighters were kept busy this morning after being called to a house fire in Kaikorai Valley and a car which exploded into flames in Mosgiel. Firefighters were called to both fires at about the same time. The car fire was in Ashton Street and a witness says the vehicle repeatedly exploded as it went up in flames after a man drove the Toyota hatchback into a driveway. No one was injured and a mechanical fault is thought to be the cause. At the same time, firefighters were battling a small blaze at a house in Ann Street in Roslyn. It's believed the house fire began in an electrical switchboard. A Dunedin pair who some reality TV viewers love to hate are eagerly awaiting the outcome of My Kitchen Rules New Zealand this weekend. Jess Mackay, a real estate agent in Brighton, and Cindy Holmes, a mortgage broker who lives on a Taieri dairy farm, are one of 2 pairs left in the cooking show.
Anxiously awaiting their fate on reality cooking show My Kitchen Rules New Zealand, Dunedin real estate agent Jess Mackay and mortgage broker Cindy Holmes are one of just 2 pairs left ahead of Sunday night's final.
We put our whole heart and soul into it, so I mean whatever happens,
it's done.
We know, we can't change anything. We know that we did amazing. It's just who did better, really.
Although they filmed the series back in March, they'll learn their fate along with everyone else.
It's been fun this whole time because obviously we knew what was going to happen for the most part in each episode, but now we're as clueless as you are.
They say they're simply mums who love cooking and came into the show as the pair who tell it like it is, and they're not worried about being portrayed as the villains of the program.
We're pretty straight up, which probably rubs a few people up the wrong way, so we're really sorry.
Pretty much what you see is what you get. There's no worrying about us talking about you behind your back because we'll say it to your face.
The two used fresh local ingredients as much as possible on the show and tried to showcase Dunedin and southern cooking. And although social media trolls have had a field day along the way, it hasn't fazed them.
The hard thing about it is not being able to comment back to be here and correct their spelling. But
They plan on watching the final with a large crowd at an event in Outram, and if they are successful, they plan on using the $100,000 prize money to realise their dream of a joint food business in Dunedin, the South today.
2 people have walked away unhurt after their car towing a trailer crashed near Waihola. One lane of State Highway 1 just north of Waihola was blocked after the incident this morning. The car was on its side just off the southbound lane while the trailer ended up in a paddock. Police say they were called to the crash just after 11. The 2 people managed to get themselves out of the car. A plastic duck, which competed in a charity race in Alexandra during October, has apparently made it all the way down the Manuherikia and Clutha rivers to end up at the Roxburgh Dam. Workers removing flood debris after the recent deluge found the duck and have made it their mascot.
When clearing the huge amount of driftwood washed up at Roxburgh Dam, workers found a little plastic duck who'd had a long journey of 30 kilometres down to Manuherikia and Clutha rivers following a duck race in Alexandra some 2 months ago.
Turns out this duck is from the Alexandra Parent Centre Manuherikia duck race they had back in October. So the team decided to rescue the duck and it became our mascot for the rest of the work on the jet boat that was pushing the material around, and the duck oversaw all the operations.
And they're going to try and get in touch with the duck's original race sponsor.
So now we're quite keen to try and return the duck to the person that had number 424. So we'll make some inquiries and see if we can do that.
Sitting on the prow of the jet boat, the mascot got to oversee the mammoth task of clearing the tangled wood.
It was a big job, something like 400 truckloads, a couple of thousand tonnes of debris.
The wood collected under the plastic duck supervision isn't going to waste, with plans for it to be chipped into garden mulch. In Roxburgh, for the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, we catch up with winners of the recent Otago Business Awards and chat with a Southern boxer. See you shortly.
Petrol prices getting you down? Keep the smile on your dial with an e-bike grin from Electrify NZ on Cumberland Street. For an average $2,000 savings per year, why wouldn't you? Book a test ride today.
Spring is here and it's time to get in the garden. Ready Lawn will take care of your lawn needs, making Lawn Care a snap. They will install the perfect lawn while you plant your favourite flowers and vegetables. Call Ready Lawn today so you can enjoy the coming season.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489-2274.
My Els and I just love coming to Alex Campbell's. That's my favourite shop. I always get good value here, and good boys, really deserve good brands and good quality. Look at these tees. Local beaches on some of them too. This is only for the good boys, the old boys, the young boys. What about some bright shorts for the boys? Excellent.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
At Green Island Medical Centre, we are committed in caring for our future and present generations. We know as a young person, coming to the doctors can be quite daunting. Our highly skilled doctors and nurses will make your experience one where you will leave with a smile. Your health is very important to us.
It's always really satisfying when a customer comes back after doing a purchase of outdoor furniture and knowing that we've got it done right.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
It's that time of year. It's time to get into the garden and it's time to get your weed eater. Down here at the Power Garden Department at Andersons Bay Road, this year it's all about the cordless weed eater. Come down and see us at Mighty 10 Mega and we'll help you get it done right.
Welcome back. The government has fast-tracked part of the new Dunedin Hospital build, but it appears the overall hospital project will take longer than originally thought. Health Minister David Clark has announced the hospital will be built in 2 stages, with an outpatient and day surgery building due to be finished 3 years earlier than anticipated. The new building is expected to be in the Wilson parking block on the corner of Cumberland and St Andrews Streets. But the larger inpatient building is predicted to be finished 5 or 6 years after that, meaning it might not be completed until 2030 instead of midway through 2026. Russian sailor Fyodor Konyakov has left Dunedin as he embarks on his latest round-the-world odyssey. He arrived in Dunedin around a month ago to prepare for his world record attempt to row the Southern Ocean and then around the world. The 9-metre-long rowing boat Acros was towed out of the Otago Heads around 8 o'clock last night. No rowboats have managed to successfully cross the Southern Ocean and around Cape Horn. The 66-year-old Orthodox priest will row for up to 15 hours a day, with breaks for eating and sleeping. His row to Cape Horn is the first of 3 legs in his 27,000-kilometre journey, with each leg expected to take 120 days. More than 70 businesses from around Otago have been praised at an awards ceremony in Dunedin for their courage and willingness to stand out. The Westpac Otago Business Awards have run biennially for the past 20 years, and this year received 150 entries from more than 70 businesses. Around 450 people packing into Dunedin's Town Hall for the recent Westpac Otago Business Awards. The cream of the province's business leaders coming together to celebrate and reward those with the courage to turn the tall poppy syndrome on its head. Mighty 10 Mega Dunedin and Mighty 10 Mosgiel won the Excellence in Retail Award before going on to be named Supreme Winner.
It's a great acknowledgement of teamwork. There's a whole big wide team, there's 180 crew back at work who deserve all this recognition. Neil, the chief, I am but the mere check writer, and the team do an amazing job, and we love our customers, we love doing business in Dunedin, and we love being here tonight. It's been an amazing night.
Former Cadbury Dunedin site manager Judith Mayer took out the Mayor's Award for Business Personality. She oversaw the factory's closure with the loss of more than 350 jobs.
It was an absolute shock and surprise to receive this award today. I feel very honoured to be recognised by the city for my work with Cadbury, and the association with the Chamber and the wider business community has been an important part of my leadership and being able to support our staff in the future.
Otago Museum won the Otago University Innovation in Business Award, which almost left the museum's director without words.
We are completely staggered by winning tonight against such amazing company. It's a real honour to be in the same company, and the museum is really humbled to be here tonight. So very, very stunned, as you can tell.
More than 70 businesses entered the awards, with the next event set down for 2020. In Dunedin, the South Today. When a 2-time Commonwealth Games gold medalist boxer talks about high-performance training, it pays to listen. And when David Nyaika put St Kevin's College pupils through the paces of a workout that he developed to keep him going in the ring, the pupils worked.
Getting some next-level training advice from double Commonwealth Games gold medalist David Nyaika. The affable boxer spent the week at St Kevin's College in Oamaru thanks to a family connection.
My uncle invited me to St Kevin's, and it just happened to fall on the same week that my grandparents were having their 50th wedding anniversary, and they all live here, so here I am.
He's taken the time to show some of the school's best athletes what's involved in taking their game to the next level.
It really comes down to the individual, how bad they want it, and what they're willing to give up to pursue that dream.
A valuable insight for the students.
Because like taking us through like his boxing unit, he was saying. Yeah. So like show us what he does and how he prepares.
Just focus on like pushing yourself, showing resilience.
Yeah.
And yeah, just sticking with it, keep pushing.
But while Naik has tasted success at the international level, it hasn't been without sacrifice, something he's tried to instill in the St Kevin's athletes.
For me, that was just simple stuff like not going out and chasing too many girls and drinking with my friends and like not making that my priority, I guess. Like my priority has always been my sport.
Naika's next fight is scheduled for late February. Until then, he's happy to pass on what he's learned so far to some of Oamaru's most promising. In Oamaru, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, we continue our year in review, looking at the month of February and check out the weather for the weekend. See you soon.
Every Kiwi deserves a reliable garage door. Rely on Garador to protect your important stuff. Just like Darren, his Garador keeps his favourite ride in mint condition. We have a huge range at affordable prices. Visit our website for a free consultation. We stand behind every door.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
I just like it. It's something that you can see the fruits of your own labour. You put it right now, you don't have as much to do at Christmas. You come see me, Derek, in the garden department, and then we get it done right.
My Els and I just love coming to Alex Campbell's. That's my favourite shop. I always get good value here, and good boys really deserve good brands and good quality. Look at these tees. Local beaches on some of them too. This is only for the good boys, the old boys, the young boys. What about some bright shorts for the boys? Excellent.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Petrol prices getting you down? Keep the smile on your dial with an e-bike grin from Electrify NZ on Cumberland Street. For an average $2,000 savings per year, why wouldn't you? Book a test ride today.
Hello, it's Jeremy down here at Mighty 10 Mega in Andersons Bay. We've got 35 different lawnmowers down in our power garden department. We've got ride-on mowers, petrol mowers, battery operated mowers, push mowers. Did you know we've even got a robot, a little robot lawnmower that pops out during the day when you're at work or play. It'll pop out and mow your lawn. So come down and see me, Jeremy, down in the power garden department at Mighty 10 Mega in Andersons Bay Road, where we'll help you get it done right first time.
Active Interior Design in Mornington are the curtain and blind experts. The team can even advise you on outdoor products and will ensure that everything is perfect. For interior design with flair, call Active to book your free in-home consultation or call into the showroom in Mornington.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
At Green Island Medical Centre, we are committed in caring for our future and present generations. We know as a young person, coming to the doctors can be quite daunting. Our highly skilled doctors and nurses will make your experience one where you will leave with a smile. Your health is very important to us.
Welcome back. The Wild Dunedin Committee has brought a fresh take on meetings by holding their latest gathering in the middle of the water of Leith. Festival coordinator Jeannie Hayden says next year's New Zealand Festival of Nature will focus on fresh water, so the location seemed appropriate. The exotic meetings have become a yearly happening for the committee, which last year met outside on top of a hill near Lanark Castle overlooking the peninsula. The festival is set to feature about 70 events and scheduled to run late April next year. In the lead up to Christmas, we're taking a look back at the news highlights over the last 12 months. February followed a long hot summer which brought an early wine harvest to central Otago, as well as seeing a swimming ban in Lake Hayes due to a potentially toxic algae.
100 homes in the Dunedin suburb of Burnside were evacuated following a log fire. The fire was eventually put out by firefighters and some assistance from heavy rain the following day. A day later, crews using thermal imaging cameras were still discovering hotspots near the top of the hill. Hope and Sons Funeral Home was filled to overflowing as the life of Amber Rose Rush was celebrated. Friends and family gathered to pay tribute to the 16-year-old who was killed earlier in the month. 30-year-old medical doctor Vinod Scantha was charged with her murder. His trial set to commence in 2019. Queenstown's Lake Hayes was plagued with a potentially toxic blue-green algae bloom. An Otago Regional Council scientist said not much was known about the bacteria responsible, nor when the lake would be swimmable again.
Lake Hayes had massive cyanobacteria blooms back in the 1970s, and I think the latest one was in 1981. And then the species changed, and we don't know why it's changed. There's lots of theories about it.
Mid-February marked the start of Central Otago's wine harvest 3 weeks earlier than normal. Winemakers were apprehensive about getting enough people to pick the early harvest.
Where I used to get 50 workers, I'm now getting 30, so everyone in the region is starting to feel some pain, including me.
No OUSA orientations complete without the annual Toga Party, this year's event attracting about 3,000 fresh-faced youngsters dressed up for the occasion. Once inside Forsyth Bar Stadium, the audience danced to the music of the Hot Donners and Sweet Mix Kids. Security made sure the temporary alcohol ban was enforced, and police said no arrests were made. But the start of Otago University's academic year was marred by Dunedin's Castle Street being full of rubbish and broken glass from the previous night's parties. The students making their way through the debris the following morning had mixed opinions.
There's full of parties in the Castle Street and I can do nothing about it because there's party over everywhere in every night, so I hate rubbish and parties, but yeah, it feels bad though, yeah.
This kind of thing's been going on for a long time here, and so I reckon it's probably alright if it's not causing any harm out of like just the people that live here. I don't know, like it's just yeah, it's just the way things have been for a long time, I guess.
The Dunedin City Council said they were combating the issue with the higher frequency of street cleaning in the area, plus a mailed-out educational package to student flats.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Dunedin Eyesight staff are getting ready for an extra busy cruise ship day tomorrow with 3 ships due to arrive. A Dunedin couple taking part in a reality TV show are eagerly awaiting to hear their fate as the results of the program are due soon. And a rubber duck from a charity duck race in October is found safe and well at the Roxburgh Dam, having survived 3 months in the wilderness. And now time for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Mr. Hayden Meikle.
Good evening, Daryl. How are you?
I'm good, yourself?
Very, very good, and looking forward to a cracking ODT tomorrow. Saturday editions are always good, even with me as night editor. Let's just cross our fingers.
It'll be great.
Hospital rebuild, let's face it, the big news, the news that's going to dominate our lives for the next decade. Big news. Is it good news? Is it bad news? I guess it depends on where you stand. So the rebuild's going to start sooner than expected. Yay! But it's going to take a little bit longer than promised. Not so good. So lots of reaction and explanation of how the process is going to unfold on the front page, surprisingly enough, of tomorrow's ODT. It's graduation month, and boy, it's a big one too. Thousands of bright, young and not so young people about to get their degrees and diplomas this month. Lovely story about this woman in tomorrow's ODT. I won't tell you exactly what that story is about. People can read the paper, but a really nice yarn. Speaking of students, they're not behaving as badly as they were, Daryl. Which
that's good news.
Which, of course, is good news.
When we were younger.
When we were younger, which is a long time ago now. 10-year study. It's a long time to study something, and the results are out, and it shows that our students in Otago are not behaving as badly under the influence of alcohol as they used to, so that's great. Interesting yarn. Read that for the full yarn. Nice story about a couple of Tyree College teachers, great mates, retiring at the same time. That's also in tomorrow. And it's cricket season, so lots of cricket happening. Obviously the Black Caps tonight, Targo's playing a bit of cricket. Cricket, so the sports pages will have plenty of that tomorrow.
Brilliant. Thanks for that, Hayden. Look forward to a cracking read.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Darryl.
buddy. And now time for a look at the weekend's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Tonight's southern view is of clouds over Toitu in Dunedin. Looking at the situation, a westerly airflow dominates the weekend with rain and gusty winds in the west, but drier weather further east and warmer temperatures. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport can expect cloudy conditions and a high of 19 degrees. Across to the northeast, Nelson and Blenheim could have a few clouds, 27 for Nelson and 26 for Blenheim. In Canterbury, a fine day for Kaikoura with a high of 22 degrees. Christchurch and Ashburton may have a few clouds. Christchurch is aiming for 21, while Ashburton should reach 24. Looking at the southern centres, Catherine's, Balclutha, Gore and Lumsden are all in for fresh westerlies with the threat of light rain and 18-degree highs. Heading westward to the Central Lakes area, fresh westerlies, some cloud with highs of 23 for Wanaka, 24 in Alexandra, 21 in Queenstown, and a bit cooler for you in Te Anau on 17 with a chance of rain. Looking at the northern towns, Timaru and Oamaru can expect moderate northeasterlies, some cloud and 19 to 20 degree highs. Fresh westerlies and some cloud for Umarama and Twizel, and you're both expecting 21. And in Dunedin tonight, expect an overnight low of 12 degrees, cloudy on Saturday with brief rain in the morning and possibly again in the evening, light variable winds with mild temperatures, a high of 18. Often cloudy on Sunday with showers, expect dry periods too, and mild northeasterlies, a high of 20 and a low of 12. Heading down to Invercargill, cloudy tonight with showers and an overnight low of 9. Cloudy tomorrow with rain at times and fresh to strong gusty westerlies. Some heavy rain is possible tomorrow evening, looking at a high of 16 and a low of 9. Rain eases to showers on Sunday with fresh westerlies. Plan for a high of 16 and a low of 9. And that wraps up our news for this Friday, and indeed for the week. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz, channel39.co.nz, and follow the both of us on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the weekend. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.